So the ISA has just announced major changes to how surfers will qualify for the 2028 Olympics. And these changes were met with, well, outrage by basically everybody on the world tour. So what's going on? In both Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024, 10 men and 8 women qualified for the Olympics directly through the World Tour, entirely based on the WSL's end-of-season rankings for the year previous. But for LA 2028, this has now been reduced to just 5 men and 5 women who will directly qualify through the CT. But to be honest, that's not the complicated bit of the new rule changes. Firstly, these surfers will now qualify based on rankings as of June 2028, which is around a month or so before the actual Olympics begin. So obviously we don't know the WSL's 2028 schedule yet, but if it was to be based on this year's event, this cutoff point would happen after just 5 events halfway through the CT calendar, which means in theory you could have somebody who eventually goes on to win the world title not even make the Olympic spots. But 24 men and 24 women will still compete at Trestles in 2028. The remaining slots will be filled via ISA events between 2026 and 2028. So as discussed, there'll be 5 surfers from the CT for each gender, 10 surfers from the 2028 World Surfing Games per gender. There'll be 1 spot per gender from the 2026 Asian Games, the 2027 Pan Am Games, and the 2027 European Surfing Championships. Surfers from Africa and Oceania will qualify through the 2027 World Surfing Games. There'll also be 1 spot per gender for the 2026 and 2027 World Surfing Games, as well as some universality spots for nations with less than 8 competitors from previous years. And then finally, the host nation, so the US, will get a spot if they don't already qualify through other means. Obviously, it's pretty complicated, and at first glance, it's quite a lot to get your head around. There's a lot of different ways into the Olympics, potentially. And to be honest, a lot of this is similar to previous years. It's never been that straightforward. It's just the major change has been that now less surfers from the World Tour will qualify directly through the CT. But this doesn't mean you can't qualify, you just have to do it through the ISA events. And I think a lot of the outrage from CT surfers actually comes from the lack of communication between the ISA and the surfers on the World Tour. You know, you're going to be pretty pissed off if you've earned the right to be one of the best surfers in the world, and the fact that you now might not qualify because of this rule change is pretty unfair. So now these changes put a massive emphasis on the 2028 World Surfing Games, which has previously been held at La Bocana in El Salvador, and I'm pretty sure it will be again in 2028. And it also means that the first few events of the 2028 WSL schedule are going to be crazy important. So is it fair? Probably not. Surely it would be better to have all of the World Tour surfers qualify automatically and then everyone else battles it out via the ISA World Surfing Games. To me, that sounds fairer. Maybe there are other reasons that this doesn't happen, but surely they could make the Olympic event way bigger with more people in it. So you've got all the best surfers, and then you still give everyone else a chance to qualify and surf in the Olympics as well, including some of the lesser surfing nations, I guess. But yeah, hopefully that explains the new rule changes and sort of explains how the Olympic qualification will work in as concise a way as it possibly can be explained. Let me know what you guys think of the rule changes down in the comments below. For now, it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you